Hey Familia, Igni here. Before we jump into today's video, I just want to let you know that I have a second channel, youtube.com/Ignideus2, and it's also linked on the page of the main channel. And right now it says this channel doesn't have any content, but that won't be true by tomorrow. So if you want some more of me that isn't Shadowverse related, first of all, thank you very much for being a fan, and consider subscribing. All right. Let's jump into it. On the last CCW, I asked you guys to draw a picture in paint and then make a card based out of it. Let's see what you came up with, shall we? First up, we have Lainra with Doraemon. Man, I used to watch this show when I was a kid. For the life of me, I can't remember any of the characters' names or what any of the episodes were about, but 1 play point, 1/2, neutral legendary, fanfare, choose, put either a Dokodemo door, a Takecopter, or a small light into your hand, enhance 9, put all 3 into your hand, and recover 9 play points. Alright. Dokodemo door, put 2 random class followers into your hand. Okay. So it's like the thing that, he just pops out random stuff out of the box. Takecopter, select an allied follower, it can't be attacked. Kind of like the flavor of that one. Like it's just flying above you. And the small light, randomly change the attack and defense of one of the strongest enemy followers in play to 1/1. And each of them are 3 play points, hey? So a little overpriced, but still a pretty cool card. And for 1 play point, this could be like a staple card too. I will say I'm particularly impressed with this Doraemon drawing. The rest are kind of like basic shapes, right? Well, this one's pretty cool. But this Doraemon is like pretty damn good for paint, man. Props. Here we have Spiky of Darksea by Maiden Demi. Lots of errors in the text here. This should just be officer. This should have a period after the word and a space. This should all be spaced out, and evolve is spelt wrongly. But I did want to really showcase this, mostly because the art is a Maractus with a pirate hat holding Ashbringer from World of Warcraft. I don't really know where this came from, but I really love the creativity. I think it would be awesome if the text was fixed up a little bit, because you have like an awesome mind here, and it'd be great to see it a bit more polished. Alt Dim Sum, one of our regular submitters here, with a Bud in the Valley of Demise. Invocation at the start of your turn. If your leader took 8 damage or more during your opponent's last turn, put a Bud in the Valley of Demise into play. Countdown 3 at the end of your turn. Restore 2 defense to your leader. Repeat this effect if your leader took 5 damage or more during your opponent's last turn. I quite like this. It's a counterplay against aggressive decks and decks with a lot of storm or burst damage. Not super effective against OTK decks, but it can help you heal out of their range, right? Which is also pretty nice. And it's not completely dead as a defensive card because of that invocation effect that gets it out there when you need it the most as well. But it also has a use when you have it in your hand, just as a slight healing tool as well. Could be pretty strong, and I love the flavor of, this one seed of hope when all seems lost to the Smork god that you're facing down against. Agent Gaming made Ike Radiant Hero. Wow! This is done in paint, man. Props for the dedication. And Ike, of course, being a character from Fire Emblem, and also the character I mained in Brawl. Swordcraft Officer, 4 play point, 4/3 rush. Whenever this follower attacks, randomly put a commander from your deck into your hand. Fanfare in hand 6. Gain +1/+1, then give your leader the following effect. If an allied commander is in play, reduce all damage to your leader by 2. This effect is not stackable and lasts for the rest of the match. I don't know if Swordcraft really needs a better Geno. I think they're already pretty good in terms of the board. This might be some callback to Fire Emblem flavor that I'm not aware of, because I don't really play Fire Emblem. I mostly just know Ike from Smash. But, props on the MS Paint art for sure. Pretty fun, and like in a cool stylized version of Ike done in paint. The hair especially it seems like it took a lot of work. Or is that like a copy paste of something? I can't really tell. I'm kind of impressed either way. Cyros with Skull Wasp. You drew this? There's no way this was drawn in paint, right? That's amazing. When this follower comes into play, deal 1 damage to an enemy follower. Last word, summon a Skull Wasp. You can put a maximum of 10 Skull Wasps into play per match. Flash, gain 2 shadows when you evolve it. Last word, summon 2 Skull Wasps. Again, you can only put a maximum of 10 Skull Wasps into play per match. I like the idea of like a cheaper Mordecai that's a lot less impactful in terms of stats. It just sticks there. And the fact that this has that Pegasus Dullahan proc effect of whenever it comes into play, so even when you summon it off its last words. It deals 1 damage to an enemy follower. Makes it sort of more of a controlling tool than an aggressive tool, because it does take up board space, and when you evolve it doesn't gain aggressive stance, so it can't really be used to really aggress your opponent down. Unless, of course, you buff it with like Gilnelis or Gremory. Well, not Gremory, but Gilnelis, I suppose, which is pretty great. But still seems sort of ineffective aggressively. Plus, kind of gets wrecked by banish effects, right? But I like the concept here of this skull boss that just keeps coming at you, plaguing your board, you know, with this 1 damage effect, like a locust swarm or something. But mostly, I'm just really impressed with this art. Like, damn, that's cool. Hey, whoa, hey, Jess Johan. You know, when I put out a challenge to do MS Paint, I was not expecting actually good art. But you know what? Not a bad thing at all. No, I'm very pleasantly surprised. Red Web Cobber Arch. Bloodcraft 2.13. Bane. Last words. Should be last words. 2 words. Draw a card. Deal 2 damage to your leader. Same as unevolved. Wow, that seems really powerful. Like already a far more powerful Scorpius. I don't know about that, especially since Dark Beast Vat is a thing. This might just be a little over the top, but that art is incredible. The Dova Cat showing that if Cygames isn't gonna print a Forte card, then we'll do it ourselves. Forte, Soaring Dragoon. Dragoncraft Legendary 4.43 fanfare. Choose, put either a Dark Scale Piercer or a Light Scale Piercer into your hand. Put both into your hand instead if Overflow is active for you. Light Scale Piercer. Give an allied follower +0, +3, and ward. Then fully restore that follower's defense. Ooh. That's actually pretty great, especially the disdain stuff, right? Like you can restore the defense of something that you ping down a lot. And Dark Scale Piercer. Give an allied follower +3 attack and drain. And then deal damage to that follower until its defense drops to 1. Wow! That's even better with the disdain stuff. And it hits face with the +3 attack and drain, too. Whoa. I really like it. And I like the fact that you sort of, instead of going for the storm flavor that the old Forte had, you're going with the 2 different spears that she's holding and giving them sort of like their own flavor in terms of what each of them does. Really cool take on the card, man. Plus, this fan art is actually, like, in a weird way, kind of adorable, isn't it? Reminds me of, like, Kirby's Epic Yarn or something. Oh, we got another reimagining here from Unclean Soul. Novice Summoner Erasmus. I love this little JoJo reference and this smiley face flame out of nowhere. Again, going with the theme of Runecraft old people and their young selves, with Levi and now Erasmus here. 4.24 gold. At the end of the turn, deal 2 damage to a random enemy follower and the enemy leader. Oh, so like casts Piercing Rune. And evolves with a +1/+2. At the end of your turn, deal 3 damage to a random enemy follower and the enemy leader. Wow! This actually seems pretty good, right? Like, you evolve it, and then it casts a better Piercing Rune for free, while you can also trade into it with a really healthy body. Jeez, man. That's super strong. I mean, all the old mages and their young forms have been pretty strong, except for old Erasmus, obviously. So maybe this is like overcompensating for the fact that old Erasmus isn't very good. So, young Erasmus back in his heyday was very powerful. Looks like he's holding Atiesh. I think he stole that from the different wrong franchise. Khadgar called, he wants it back, but yeah, man. This is also really cute. Live, insect! I missed my old Bahamut. What is this? You drew me? Oh, pattern, you drew me? I love this. I'm very flattered. Thank you. Igni, Omen of SV, neutral legendary, 6.64. Fanfare, put a chunk of Bahamut into your hand. Now that is a callback to an old inside joke. Let me bring it up here. So when Bahamut was first nerfed from a 10 play point 13 that destroyed everything to a 10 play point 9 only destroyed followers, I made this joke on Twitter about the chunk of Bahamut, because what's missing from Bahamut now could very well be its own card. So this is sort of what this is referencing. And you know what? I'd take it. Oh, here comes Vaguely Dead with a Spooktober special. An Arcus hate card, the spoopiest ghost, 6.110, that is unaffected by opponent's card effects and can't be attacked except for the fact that enemy ghosts must attack this card. And when you evolve it, it doesn't gain any attack, but it gains defense to tank even more ghosts. It's a ghost that eats other ghosts. Survival of the fittest, even in the afterlife, huh? Somebody's been playing against a lot of Shadow on ladder, that's for sure. But you know what? It's Spooktober, so I'm putting the spooky card in. That's a fact. Franz Hurrian, with the most direct way to balance a meta I've ever seen. Why do you even try? Banish all 4, 7, 9 cost legendary cards from your opponent's deck in hand. With this frustrated businessman holding Thanos' gauntlet. Plus 20 points for the artwork, which is surprisingly good for MS Paint. Like, goddamn, look at that shading. Minus 50 points for the unexpected Thanos reference. What are you doing, man? Come on. Ixalia asks, may I use this pixel art I made prior to CCW Paint being announced? Well, those weren't the rules, but then again, this isn't a real competition. So I guess so. Davian Dragon Knight, whenever this follower takes damage, if this follower is not destroyed, destroy 3 defense to this follower. Cool card. Maybe a really good take 2 card for sure. And just a sturdy guy in general. Not sure if it's legendary tier with that effect, but that art is definitely legendary tier. God damn, dude. You do pixel art? That's incredible. That looks really sick. Pixel Chew has a series of cards here based off of Cells at Work. That anime about the cells in your body being anime people. I actually haven't seen this show, but I saw that video series of that doctor reviewing the medical science behind the anime, and it's made me want to watch it. I'm not actually sure if it's good or not, though. Like, I've heard mixed things. Let me know in the comments down below if you think it's worth me checking out, because I don't want to waste my time, but it also looks really cute. Speaking of cute, though, this is, like, really adorable in a derpy way, but this is, like, legitimately impressive for MS Paint. Damn. No freaking way, Ember Naga. You drew this in Paint? Are you serious? That's amazing! I'm actually astounded by your guys' talent. God damn! 1.11 fanfare. If there are no duplicate cards in your deck, excluding this one, draw a card. Gain. When this follower leaves play, put a Jereba Devout of 1 into your deck. Transformation doesn't count as leaving play. Enhance 10 if you have at least 1 leader effect active and played 1 neutral and X-Craft Amulet follower and spell this match, you win the match. I think it should be your leader gains the following effect or something like that. But super cool effect here, dude. Like an alternate win condition too. Understated 1/1 that synergizes with these Highlander decks. It doesn't solely rely on Miara Bane. It's a Rule 63 Miara Bane. Drawn really well in MS Paint. Like, your creativity is incredible. Like, I'm envious here. You guys are awesome. Rudy Fuki says, I have no idea what I'm drawing. Just draw what comes in mind and add the effect later. I can dig that, man. I respect that. Ooh, a spooky card. Enforcement of Resurrection. Destroy an allied follower. Put a copy of that follower into play and then evolve it. Oh, that's awesome for a Shadowcraft. Are you kidding me? And this art is really cool, I think. It's like a cultist dragging a ghost out of the grave. Look how sad that ghost looks. Man, but that shading though. Spatian Inventor Garius. Whew, this guy looks straight out of an anime. 5.45. Put a satellite artifact into your deck. A satellite artifact. God damn. It's like an orbital space laser or something. Can only be played whenever you have 5 artifacts in play by destroying those artifacts. Invocation at the start of your turn, put a satellite artifact from your deck into play if at least 15 artifacts have been destroyed during this match. Can't attack, can't be targeted or destroyed, can only be attacked by followers with at least 7 play points. At the end of your turn, deal 10 damage to an enemy. Wow, that's a lot of conditions to fulfill. Seems like a much worse destruction in black in terms of, getting the effect off. But what really impresses me here is the art and the flavor behind this. Like, this is super cool looking. And legendary Dragonclaw. In Paint, this is actually quite good. Like, I know it's just a claw, but damn, man. 5 play point Dragoncraft spell. Give an allied follower a clash. Deal X damage to an enemy leader. X equals to that follower's attack. Trading and going face at the same time. Reviving Fangblade Slayer, but in Dragoncraft. I dig it, I dig it. Also legendary, but it's a silver card, you know, giving one for the plebs out there. And Rudy Fuki has even more submissions, also done in MS Paint. It's actually pretty impressive, man, especially the shading. And the art style is really cute and consistent, despite being drawn in MS Paint. That's awesome. That is it for this week, though. Thank you guys so much for submitting your cards here. I'm blown away, honestly, by your skill and creativity this week. I encourage you all to look through all of the submissions this week. Just go on Twitter and type in hashtag #CCWPaint to see what your fellow viewers have created. But enough of that. Let's talk about next week's challenge, shall we? For next week, I want you guys to design a trap card that does something when your opponent performs a specific action on their turn. Can be secret or not secret, it's up to you. For example, like how in the game, there's emergency summoning that summons a guardian golem and a clay golem for you when your opponent plays a follower. Something like that. Tweet your submissions at me with the hashtag #CCWTrap, and you might get in on next week's video. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video if you did. Don't if you didn't. Subscribe for more Shadowverse content in the very near future. And of course, thank you to my wonderful patrons, patreon.com/Ignideus. If you'd like to support the channel as well, I'd highly appreciate it. Bye-bye.